Hello, galactic travelers, cosmic crew. Happy Friday the 13th. The 13, man, that's always been my lucky number, and I was so excited to get home to make this video. Oh my gosh, so we're going to talk about the new moon of Aries. But I want to talk about how we're manifesting our new moons, because I just completed a manifestation cycle from the last new moon, okay? It was the new moon of, got it right here, Pisces. And it was on March 16th, 2018. And this is how I started manifesting for the new moons. And I just went back and looked at all my manifestation journal. So I highly suggest get a journal, just get a book, right? Get a book. And in the beginning, I needed these visuals. I've showed this before, but I just put visuals in here. And if I go back and look at the manifestations that I did early on, I could tell I really didn't love myself very much. It's not that I didn't love myself, but it was so incomparable for me to believe that I could manifest happiness coming from where I was at. We're coming up on a year, and it's finally clicking, so I'm finally able to share and getting to where I can help you guys a lot, because you know, I went through some of these mistakes. Get a journal, put your manifestations in it, and that's it. Get a pen, a colored pen, or if you want to get fancy, a feather pen, but only use it for your manifestation, because the power goes into that pen. Don't let anybody else use it. Put it away, make it your special manifestation pen. When you write your manifestations, we have to start here. We have to start in a place that we believe that it can happen, okay? So whenever I first started, if I go back to when I first got activated, the manifestations that I did, they were for the earth. You know, again, I woke up and just knew I was planting new Gaia, and everything was on a global scale, and some of these really came true. I have one that was specific that I'd put up, and this was a new piece, and I had this, you know, I would have these pages up sitting in my room, and I would put my crystals and candles in front of it, and I would concentrate on different ones for different days. And this was last summer, so it was about, I don't know, 2 or 3 months in. I had this up in my room, and I'd gone in the backyard to lay out, and I was actually floating on a raft in the backyard of the house that I just sold today. So I'm gonna get to that, so stay tuned. This is included with rainbows and everything. I got a beautiful story to tell. But I want to show you guys some other things first. Chiron, Kryon, right, popped up on. I knew to get off the raft. I knew to look at my YouTube. Chiron had come on. Well, it ended up that ironically, or it just so happens, and that's something that we're all starting to say a lot more of, it was the last day of Ramadan. So you can look and see exactly what day it is now that I'm thinking about it. And Chiron came on. It was a channeling. However, he was on basically a global conference call with hundreds and actually thousands. I think there was probably, if I can remember correctly, I think it was like 20,000 people were on the phone in Iran and Iraq, and they were praying. And we were all on at the same time for peace. And it blew my mind, because I knew that this was up in my room. And I was laying on the raft, and we started meditating and connecting energies. And I felt my spirit, like my essence, rise up out of my body into the clouds. I could see the people. I haven't had an experience like that since. I was going to each ear and telling them to put down the guns and stop the bloodshed. It was so beautiful. And there's been a few experiences that I've had like this in my journey so far, but another one happened today. And not only did it happen, but I wrote it on new moon of Pisces less than a month ago. So when we start manifesting, what I learned is if we don't believe it, okay, if yeah, it's nice to sit down and write, I'm gonna have, $1 million and I'm gonna do blah, 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 blah. But see, here's the deal. And here's an analogy. If you gave a homeless person right now $1 million, they wouldn't, their mind would be so blown, right? Because their dreams have been suppressed to the point where all they want is a good meal and a blanket. They wouldn't know what to do with that type of money. And that's what we're like right now, coming out of this fog and awakening. We're awakening with these limitless possibilities, but we've been suppressed and programmed to the point that we can't even believe it for ourselves. So how I learned to start manifesting was specific and then not specific. So specific to this is the outcome, but leaving it wide open for how to get there. Because if we start putting details on how exactly it's going to happen, then that's where we're not leaving it up to the universe in order to pull strings and make things happen for us. So I'm going to give you an example, and I just went through the new moon of Pisces, and so many of them have already come true. The IRS will lift the lien on the house. The family will be able to move in and will be released. The karmic debt is paid in full. And this happened today. Not only did it happen today, but we had to take a little drive to Fort Worth in order to get it done. The way that the deal was negotiated, I owed the bank $90,000 in back mortgage. I got to live there for 4 years without paying mortgage throughout this process, which is just the biggest blessing. I don't even know what we would have done because my parents were living with me too. And I know you guys don't have like the full story of what's happened, but it doesn't even matter because right now I'm on the other side. We'll get to more of these details, but so I owed the bank $90,000, literally, of back mortgage, and I owed the IRS $33,000, and they had a lien on the house. So of course there was by the grace of Creator, there was equity in my house to pay back the bank and to give IRS the money, but there was only going to be $10,000 left. Well, we were supposed to close 2 weeks ago, and the IRS gave us a difficult time. I am so grateful for everyone that was helping in this journey. Motive Real Estate out of Fort Worth and Fidelity Title out of Fort Worth. They were just amazing, and everyone has been working their butt off in order to jump through these hoops. But what happened was the IRS came back and said, we don't want $10,000 because she's paying too much closing costs. We want $25,000, or else we're not gonna take the lien off. And I didn't have the money. So what ended up happening is that both real estate agents pitched in half of their commission, actually more than half, like 2/3, and came up with $15,000. So I got $25,000 of that debt is gone. And I walked away from that house with literally $150 for the cool plant that the lady wanted that bought the house. But I'm free. And I had it written in here. On the way home from Fort Worth, we went through this massive, massive thunderstorm. It was hailing. The water was just coming. So everyone was pulled over on the side of the road. And then as soon as we got through that lightning, which was really cool, but all the rain and everything, this rainbow appeared that I'm still shaking from, and I'm seeing rainbow lights everywhere. But it was the most beautiful, intense rainbow ever seen. And then I master numbers the whole time, 55s, 44s, constant. As soon as we left the signing, before the storm, I saw 000. And I want to share this with you, because when we get through this stuff, this is the type of dream life that we're living, following these synchronicities, knowing that we're on time and we're just showing up, because there ain't no way I could have manifested all those details. But see, in my journal, I just said, this is what's going to happen. And it did. And it ended up even better than I could have ever imagined in my wildest dreams. Right as we pulled out of the title company, I saw a license plate 000. And then we were merging on the highway. So 000 was over here. Another car pulled up next to it, so I could see both license plates, and they were exactly lined up. And they had 2 0. I had 5 zeros, 0 0 0 0 0. And I was like, that's my debt. That it's paid. But it even means more. 000, the significance of 3 zeros is a powerful symbolism. It signifies unity with the universe. The number 3 is a known God number whose full meaning is still unknown. The combination of 3 zeros is a powerful indication that your thoughts are in harmony with your higher self. Your thoughts are aligned with your true desires, which comes from your higher self. Put your thoughts into action and materialize your deepest desires and goals. 000, the indicates that your situation has come full circle. Although symbolized by 000 or 0, you never end up exactly where you started. Life is more like threads on a screw. Although you end up at the beginning, it is now at a higher level. This is a positive sign of moving up and to your next phase of learning. So then we drove through the storm. Then we saw the rainbow, which I'm going to put some pics at the end of the video. Don't worry. It looked like this rainbow was coming up. It was so intense, and it was holding up the pressure of, and I know it's a lot of it is just the electromagnetics from Uranus and stuff, which I want to go through real quick about with this new moon to tell you how powerful it is. Then once we got through the storm, we saw the rainbow. I have a car in front of me that's JH. The lights just went out. Let's just keep going. JHN. Wow. Now I'm thrown off. It was JHN 5589. I knew that it wasn't 55 and then 18, but I added them together. So 5510 and 8917. I get John 10:17. Here's John 10:17. The reason my Father loves me is that I lay down my life, only to take it up again. No one takes it from me, but I lay down of my own accord. I have authority to lay it down, and I have authority to take it up again. This command I received from my Father. And the lights just went out. Okay, so then I saw another JHN's in front of me, 55, 89, and then I pulled over, there was another JHN right in front of me, and it was another scripture that was just dead on. Then I come in here to hurry up and do a video because I can't wait to tell you guys this information, and I pull up YouTube in order to put in the Uranus frequency so that we have some frequencies in the background. And Coachella is on live. FYI, Coachella is on live from YouTube. That's another huge synchronicity for me, because in November of 2016 is when I finally went to rehab, because I had been addicted to pain pills for 30 years. And while there, because I went to Passages in California, because I knew I needed a spiritual retreat, even though I wasn't really into that stuff. Getting clean there, which I want to talk about this more. And I knew I had to do it spiritually, and it was an amazing experience. But in my 30 days there, towards the end, whenever my frequency just started raising off the hook, I mean, I was almost manic. My frequency was so high once I got off those sedated, chemicals. And I had my first, I want to call it a lucid dream. I'm not sure if I had hypnotized I know I was trying to hypnotize myself, but I didn't have the knowledge I have now. But I had this dream, and it wasn't even a dream. I was there, and I was at Coachella in this vision, up on a hill. I had a white t-shirt on and blue jeans, and I was just rocking out and jamming, free as a bird. And freedom, look where I am today. So Christ consciousness has birth. Mass awakenings will come in waves for all souls who have chosen the path of ascension. What are we having right now? I'm not saying that I'm doing this by myself. We're all manifesting these things, but we're powerful beings. So what are you manifesting? I had in here, friends who resonate at higher dimension will appear. And then I have a note that this was on 3/16, the new moon of Pisces, and on 3/18, that happened. My friend Christy, who lives 18 miles from me, 9, of course. The 9s have been popping up all day too, but I know I'm a 9th dimensional being, so I'm a 9. Coco, which is my higher self, that's what I call my higher self. Coco and Soul will completely integrate and illuminate the path to next steps for the mission of a click, meaning the mission of the highest mission that could of 1,000,000 years. A click is 1,000,000 years. It's a full trip around the sun. These things are coming true. And we have the new moon of Aries that is coming up in Sunday. So it's going to be Sunday morning on the 15th, Pacific time. Man, I need to check this. But it's going to be Sunday, okay? Here's why, of course, the zodiac, the moon goes around and it's fast. But here's why new moon of Aries is so significant. It's so significant because we've got so many planets. The sun is in Aries. Chiron is at 29 degrees Pisces. It's going to flip in on the 17th, so just like 2 days after. So we've got all that intense energy breaking up, all these negative responses that are programs in the collective. We have Uranus at 28 degrees of Aries right now. Uranus has been in Aries for 7 years. So these are those cycles that we talk about. So when Uranus goes into Taurus, which is going to come by the end of the month, Uranus won't be back again. I believe it's 52 years. So this is a once in a lifetime transit for most of us. We have to utilize it. Get your manifestation book. Write down what you're grateful for. Tell the universe thank you for what you do have, and then be specific on what your dreams are and let the universe create plans that there ain't no way you could ever come up with. And I'm here, and I've gone through all these things to show each and every one of you that it's possible. If you go back and look at my videos, if you go back to the very beginning, and that's why I'm so glad that I was brave enough to freaking do those videos, and it was tough. And just recently doing videos has gotten better because my soul shards have come in. I'm not as fractaled as I was. I have a much deeper understanding and knowing. And this is where you're going to be too. But remember that this is a process, and so we go up and down, and sometimes we feel like, we've just been dropped off. Like, we were riding high, and if you go back and watch my videos from the beginning, and I know there's a lot, so I don't expect anyone to go watch them all, but, there was 3 or 4 times where I was like, it's here, and then I'd be like, Mwah, I'm here. We all go through this. We're going to continue to go through it. I still go through it. Now, I don't go through it as badly because now I know that after those euphoric times where you're gathering information, all these knowings and things are coming, and whenever it slows down, then it just integrates. We're integrating it. I'm still tripping that the lights went off. You're integrating the knowledge. And so in those times, which the energy is so intense right now, divine feminine is electromagnetic energy. Divine male is electric. This electromagnetic energy, I just saw there's tornadoes going through Arkansas. We're gonna have some weather events in the next month, all right? There's no way that Uranus, with all this intense Aries energy, with Chiron entering Aries, and with Uranus making that flip into Taurus, that we're not going to have some type of events. Inside and outside. Remember, as above, so below. Nothing ever happens singularly. So if those things are happening outside of us, then they are going to happen internally. Understand that it's a process, and believe, know and understand that everything you've gone through is not for naught, and understand that the more of us that you start hearing, the more you're going to see yourself in our lives, because so many of us, especially us starseeds, are in these programs that are so similar. I mean, I can talk to people and we can have some of the same names of people and people dying at the same ages and it's insane, the sexual abuse, the rapes, the beating, different people, sometimes even different names. So many of us have extreme scar tissue in our uteruses, and I mean, it's just, we're not alone. We are way more alike. We are all one. We just have different experiences that have built up programs, and we have survived. Doesn't matter if you're African American, Indian, Hindu, Filipino, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. We all, deep down, only want one thing. We want to be loved. We want to love. We want to be safe. We want to be happy, right? Get your new moon journal. Write out what you want. And don't be scared to ask for things for yourself. Just make sure that you're adding the intent. Why do you want those things? Why do you need that piece of land that you feel so comfortable on? Because whenever you're on that land, that's your fairyland. Hoot hoot. It's not being selfish. It's making you comfortable so that then you can be more spiritual and you can spread and help others. I've got another video. I might even upload it today. I started a series on astrology, just high level, explaining what it is, so then you guys can go find an astrologist, and when we get to the end, I'll start naming some. So you can find astrologists to get readings. I am going to start offering coaching videos. You know, I had to heal. There were a lot of people pressuring me to start offering coaching, but I wasn't ready because I needed to prove to myself that these things are, I needed to see it. And today, I saw it. Not only is Coachella on, but it's Skip Marley. Let's see if he's still on, and I'm going to take you guys out with, oh, how is my computer working but all the electricity went off? Wow. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, Coachella. Can't believe it. The backup singers are even wearing white t-shirts. All right, guys. I love you all of the all. For we are not small. Oh, yeah. Oh. Hey! All right, guys. Can I get a hoot hoot? Check out this rainbow. I love you. We got this. We're shifting. This is really happening. I always knew, but thank you.